Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Board of Commissioners, City of Bowling Green, Kentucky, regular meeting, City Hall, January 16, 2024 at 4:30 p.m. We're going to start out with an invocation and a pledge of allegiance. Dana?
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to invite Captain Lashley up to give our invocation. Captain Lashley is actually the chaplain and peer support specialist for our fire department, and he didn't know I was going to bring this up, but on Friday at our annual award ceremony for the BGFD, he was awarded the Service Excellence Award for the way that he supports all of our firefighters and their families. It's a tough job. When they go to work, they don't know if they're going to come back. And he, as the chief said so eloquently, he's there to support every single one of them as they support our community and keep us safe. So just thank you again for all you do. And let's give him a round of applause and thank him again for his service. And if you'll just go ahead and lead us in the invocation. If everyone will stand while he prays. Thank you so much.
Let us pray. Father, we thank you again for this day. We thank you for this opportunity that you have given us to join together and take care of business. Father, we ask your blessings upon all that are here. And Father God, we ask that you bless that all that is said and done here today. We pray, Father, that you be with these commissioners and our mayor, our city manager, along with all the others that are involved with making decisions. We pray, Father, that they will look to you in making those decisions and that the correct decisions will be made according to your will and your way. Again, as this meeting takes place and as it concludes later on, we pray that you watch over everyone as they travel back home or wherever their destination may be. And Father God, again, let us not forget to give you all the honor, all the glory, and all the praise. And we pray it in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Amen.
And if everyone will remain standing, I'm going to invite Mehek Sandhu. She's an 8th grade Bowling Green Junior High student, and she's going to lead us in the pledge, and the flag is right here. So ladies, you want to turn around.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Beasley Brown. Thank you, Captain. Thank you for a nice pledge. That's the best one I've heard in here. Welcome tonight. We actually have a special presentation, and we actually recognition. And we have some young ladies with us. We have some families with us. We have coaches with us. We have parents with us. And the hard work, the dedication, because we keep bringing Bowling Green High. This is not the first, not the second, but this is the 3rd state championship that has come to recognize for our community, for Bowling Green, and recognize in this City Hall. So, Dana, what do we have?
Yes, so we are so excited to recognize the Bowling Green Junior High cheerleading team. This year, they became back-to-back state champions. So please, let's give them a round of applause. This team is special in so many ways, and they actually, with their accomplishments, were the only middle school team this summer to invited to the Masters Cheer Camp at UK. And they had many challenges during this season, including an injury right before the state championship. And they were able to bounce back right from those challenges. And not only did they win the state championship, but they won by 11 points in a sport that who wins and who loses is decided by percentage points. So they rocked it. I love watching these girls. They are amazing. In order to be state champions, they have shown that you've got to show up every day to practice, whether you're feeling sick, whether you just don't feel like it today, whether you had a bad day. They have shown up. In fact, hand me your shoe. You guys, this shoe is going to show you how hard they work for the state championship. This is what it means, right? These girls have worked so hard. And I'm so proud of them. We all are. And girls, the work ethic, the passion that you have used to win the state champion is going to mean that you're going to be incredible leaders in our community. And we want you all to know how proud we all are of you and can't wait to see all the amazing other accomplishments that you all are going to have. And Ms. Dotson, we want you to come up here just for a second. And Or right in front of us up here. Miss Dotson is a fierce of nature. She is so incredible, and she not only teaches our girls, this hard work and the passion for service, but she makes sure that they are the most kind and thoughtful and persevere through hardships. And so the mayor, he would like to present you a challenge coin, which is our version of a key to the city, for your amazing dedication in our community.
But for the varsity, not just one state championships, but 2 state championships. Congratulations.
So parents, if you want to kind of get up here to take your pictures, if some of you all want to take pictures of them up here, you can kind of get in the middle here, and or a volunteer. But so everybody pose. We'll get the mayor back up here.
Come on up here, ladies. You like me are a little challenged.
All righty. Sue, you ready for our picture here?
Wait, and the one
You get up here so we can see you. Yeah. All right.
All right. And Coach Dotson, do we have some little special we could warm us up with tonight?
They have the cheer, but you have to reply with hey, hey. So Jillian, are you ready? Here we go.
2 bits, 4 bits, 6 bits, $1. All for the purple, stand up and holler. Hey, hey, hey,
Hey!
hey, hey,
Hey! Hey!
hey, hey, hey,
Hey!
hey, 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 hey. 2 bits.
Thank you, cheerleaders. That was amazing. Y'all are amazing.
You really care. Come again. Come out here every first and third Tuesday. Thank you. Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, as they're exiting, I have some good news to share with you and some bad news, especially for these ladies. Unfortunately, Bowling Green High and Bowling Green schools are going back to school tomorrow. That's the bad news. The good news is that we are so proud, and we want to just special kudos and recognition to the our fleet management, which basically kept our city operational with all of our trucks, our management of our fleet, because they were out 24/7, taking care of our roads, getting our roads back in condition. Over 44 square miles of roads that they're taking care of, and I'm sure we can hear a little bit more from the director, Souza. He sent out something, and the fleet management and the operations crew for Bowling Green just did a phenomenal job, and want a special kudos and thank you to them. And under that management, David Delp, please stand up right there, sir. This is his last night with us, and he's heading off to bigger and better things, but under his leadership, that fleet management and, the public works operations did a phenomenal job. And David, you've always done a phenomenal job, and I know we're going to have promotion tonight, but I'd also like to give you a special handshake if you come up, sir. Thank you, David. Congratulations. And then with that, I'd just like to turn this over to our city manager for some more special remarks. Oh, let's do a little roll call here. Roll call, Mrs. Jackson.
Commissioner Bailey.
Here.
Commissioner Beasley Brown.
Here.
Commissioner Hill.
Here.
Commissioner Perigin.
Here.
Mayor Alcott.
Here, we're all here. All right. Jeff, Mr. Meisel.
Let me just piggyback on what you said, Mayor. Mr. Delp, David Delp, has done an excellent job with our Public Works Operations Division, built on what we thought was really, really good. he took that and made it even better. And we've got some promotions coming up tonight that's going to take that on and carry that on and make it even better. So we're very blessed with to have David at the helm of Public Works Operations, and appreciate all that he's done for our city and keeping our roads. I feel like we kind of take it for granted. You know, I looked out my window yesterday, my road was clear and stayed clear, you know, most of the day Monday. And these guys cover 42 square miles, 33 of them to be exact, are out there 12 hours at a time, taking care of our roads, clearing them off, and excellent job despite the extremely cold temperatures. So thank you to David and your crew and your division. First thing I'd like to do, though, is call up Miss Leda Becker. She has an award to present, and I'd like her to take over.
Good evening, Mayor, City Commissioners. And during the December Employee Services Award, we did an inaugural award to recognize an employee who live in the spirit of United Way. As you know, every single year we, as a city, hold the United Way campaign, employee campaign, and I would like to announce that we have been selected as one of the top 3 finalists for the Live United Employee Organizational Awards, and so. As a result of that, we started this award to recognize an employee who lived in the spirit of United Way, and we presented that award during the services breakfast. There were 9 nominations that were submitted for 6 employees. I would like to list out the employees that were nominated. Sean Weeks from the Finance Department, Brent Bronner from Public Works Department, Angela McCarley from the Human Resources and Risk Management Department, Chief Justin Brooks from Bowling Green Fire Department, myself nominated, Karen Foley from Neighborhood and Community Services, and then our employee committee met and decided who our final award would be given to, and this person was unable to attend the ceremony, and that was Hillary Hightower. And Hillary Hightower was selected as the inaugural recipient of the Live United Spirit Award. I would like to read briefly what the nomination read for Hillary. Hillary has been a proven giver by checking on people in need, bringing food, meals by the hospital for the family of the sick, working to fill in for employees out for extended leave, always offering time, money, and support. Her advice and caring was the most helpful, as she's a very smart lady, and we don't disagree with that, and offers so much in ways that I do not have words for. Hillary offered to raise funds to help while checking on us morning and night, never failing to give support, kindness, and love. There are many people who help with money, and that's great. As I do not wish to make that small, but Hillary is a person that will help in so many ways. Calls of encouragement, asking helpful questions, and teaching in a supportive way to make us all better. Hillary truly gives until it hurts. A person who helps daily, not just when the spotlight is on. If Hillary sees a need, she will address a need. Many times the person in need never knows she did anything. It just got better for them. Kind of like an angel. That is my best description of her, an angel. So I knew that Hillary wasn't able to attend the award, and I thought it would be appropriate to recognize her during this Board of Commissioners meeting. So we present the inaugural Live United Spirit Award to Hillary Hightower.
Congratulations, Hillary. Thank you very much, Leda. It was beautiful.
So Thank you, Leda. A couple of other awards I'd like to mention. This is Miss Elvira Romick with our Housing Division, along with her boss, Brent Childers. Recently received another high performer designation from the federal HUD department. It's the Section 8 Management Assessment Program certification for the City of Bowling Green Housing Division. We received a 100% score, 140 points out of 140 points. City Housing Division scoring and rating based on the data of the HUD's multifamily tenant characteristic system, as well as its self-certified responses to the CMAP indicators. So well done again by the Housing Division.
Congratulations, Elvira.
Elvira and Brent leading that. Secondly, another finance award for finance from the Government Finance Officers Association. We recently got word that we received the GFOA's Distinguished Budget Presentation Award for our budget, the FY24 budget, I believe it is. The guidelines that they use are designed to assess how well an entity's budget serves as a policy document, a financial plan, an operations guide, and a communications device. Budget documents must be rated proficient in all 4 categories and in the 14 mandatory criteria within those categories to receive this award. And I believe this is, I've lost count, how many years? 14 years in a row for the budget, and we've got probably 16 or 17 on the PAFR and the CAFR, I still call it, comprehensive. So congratulations to the Finance Department on that. And then my usual, if you want to make public comments at the end of our regular session, please sign the register in the back corner of the room, and we'll take those up after our regular meeting. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Meisel. Our first item is our approval.
Mayor, can I add one to that?
Of course.
At the Martin Luther King Day celebration the other day at State Street, or yesterday, actually, seems like days ago, but it was yesterday, at State Street Baptist Church, our very own Carlos Bailey got a humanitarian award for his services, and that was by the Martin Luther King Planning Committee. So congratulations.
Sue, I appreciate that, but more importantly, you're talking about the roads. And I thought about it yesterday, just having those roads, clear, meant so much. A lot of people didn't get to walk, but then I thought about like Dr. King. I thought about like even those marchers, what they went through, just to make sure that they were seen as other human beings. So just having those roads clear, it meant a lot. So David, I appreciate that.
Congratulations, Carlos.
Thank you, Sue.
Okay, next is the approval of minutes for a regular meeting, December 19th, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Beasley Brown, second by Commissioner Hill. Any discussion? None. Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes. Municipal order number 2024-1.
Municipal order approving the promotions of Ryan Johnson to the position of Operations Division Manager, Tony Phelps to the position of Crew Supervisor 2, and Eric Joyner to the position of Signal Technician 2 in the Public Works Department.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Bailey. Mr. Meisel.
I'd like to ask Andy Souza, our Public Works Director, to come up and make recommendations for these promotions in Public Works.
Well, good evening, Commissioners and Mr. Mayor. Thank you for the kudos for the team that maintained the fleet and also did the snow and ice. Before I introduce the team, I wanted to, one, Public Works in the back. Raise your hand, all Public Works. I think this is the most we've had in a meeting in a long time. A lot of these folks have been at work since before 6 this morning, so I appreciate them being here. 286 tons of salt was what was dispersed in the last 24 hours. That's 572,000 pounds. That is just over half of the amount of salt we used all of last season combined. So that team is amazing. Our Public Works operations team is what I call the Swiss Army knife for Public Works. They do everything. They plow the roads, they fix potholes, they do cement, they trim trees, they pick up leaves, leaves, 2 million pounds of leaves in November and December, and they do our roads. So, Dave, that is a lot of you and your legacy, so thank you. And I've had the privilege of working with both Dave Delp and Ryan Johnson for the last 8 months, and I could think of no one better than Ryan Johnson to fleet up and continue the magnificent journey that Dave has started. Ryan started with the city in 2000 and has done everything in Public Works. So he is a great candidate to move forward. His spouse is here tonight, so I wanted to make sure I called her out. And because we're promoting him, that creates another opportunity for Tony to promote up to Crew Supervisor 2. And so between those two gentlemen, Public Works Operations is in a great place. Tony's been here since 2006. He's also the city's only commercial driver's license trainer. So we don't send our CDL drivers out for training. He does it in-house, and that saves the city thousands of dollars every single year. And his spouse is also here. So I wanted to recognize them in just a second. And finally, we have 23 stoplights in the city, and I know everyone loves stopping at a red light and you love going when it's green. In order to keep those lights functioning, we have to have specially trained technicians, and we have 2 of those in the city, and it's very detailed. It's not just the light, it's the cabling and the connector boxes and everything that goes inside of it. And Eric Joyner has done, a month ago today, passed his certification for level 2, and so I'd like to recommend him for Signal Technician 2. He also joined the city in 2006. So with that, I turn it over to the commissioners and Mr. Mayor.
Let's have them stand up with their spouses if they're here, so. Very nice. All right. Commissioners, you ready to make this happen? Okay, roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown? Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes, congratulations to you and your families. Well done. Municipal Order Number 2024-2.
Municipal order approving the appointment of Carrie Pruitt to the position of Parks Facility Maintainer 1 in the Parks and Recreation Department.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Bailey. Mr. Mizel.
I'm going to call upon Tiara Britt to come up, our HR manager for Parks, to make this recommendation. Tiara?
Evening. We would like to recommend Carrie Pruitt, for the Parks Facility Maintainer 1. Carrie came with us in the fall of last year. He hasn't been here with us very long, but he's a jack of all trades. He's had a little bit of experience in pest control. He has worked for the cafeterias in both the city and county schools. But the most interesting thing about Carrie is that he was a traveling musician for the majority of his life. So, he can come play some gigs for you all, if you're paying enough. And he has just been a really positive, can-do person for the cemetery. So we think he's going to fit in just well there. He is here tonight with his son, Henry. And I guess if they could stand, please.
All right, Carrie. What's your son's name? Henry. Hey, Henry. Welcome to City Commission tonight. You mind if we promote your dad? Yes. All right. Well, commissioners, can we do that?
Yeah.
All right. Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes. Congratulations. Municipal Order Number 2024-3.
Municipal order approving the appointment of Nicholas DeGraff to the position of Service Technician in the Public Works Department.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Hill. Mr. Mizel.
I'll ask Lori Gray, our HR manager for Public Works, to come up and make this one.
Evening. I'm here this evening to recommend Nick Updegraff to the appointment to the position of Service Technician in the Fleet Division. Nick actually left us about a month ago and decided when he went to a position at Western Kentucky University's Fleet Department that he wanted to come back for the mentoring and the diversity of the workload that the city provides. So based on his previous work experience, we were happy to bring him back. So he is here this evening. If you want to stand up and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Lori. Nick, we're glad you're back. Are you glad you're back? All right. I don't know if you're going to get a 5 vote, so I don't know. But. All right. Well, let's see what we have. Commissioners, you ready? Roll call, please.
Bailey? Beasley?
Oh, no. Yeah, you got it. Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
All right, Nick. Welcome back. Congratulations. Municipal Order Number 2024-4.
Municipal order approving the probationary appointment of Hannah Staples to the position of Adaptive Recreation Coordinator in the Parks and Recreation Department.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Beasley Brown, second by Commissioner Hill. Mr. Meisel.
This is kind of a domino effect from the previous promotions we've done, so I'd like to ask TR to come back up and make a recommendation for this position.
We would like to recommend Hannah Staples for the Adaptive Rec Coordinator position. Hannah is a South Warren graduate, but she received her bachelor's from Western. She has worked as an administrative secretary for Fresenius Healthcare. She's been a Help at Home coordinator, and most recently she worked for Norton Healthcare. But Hannah's going to be new to this position, but she is not new to the adaptive recreation field. She has been a Special Olympics coach for 12 years, and we really think that Hannah has that servant's heart that's going to be required for this position. So she is here tonight with her two best friends, Desiree and Jordan. So if you all could please stand. Hannah's on the left there.
All right, Tiara, Heather, glad you brought your friends tonight, and welcome to the city. So, commissioners ready? Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes, congratulations, Hannah. Municipal Order Number 2024-5.
Municipal order approving the probationary appointments of Kaylin Birch, Julio Delgado, and Sarah Epley to the position of Police Cadet 2 in the Police Department.
Second.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Beasley Brown. Mr. Meisel.
I'll ask Lori to come back up and make recommendations for these appointments in the police department. We've got some good opportunity here to fill some future positions. Lori?
Hello again. I'm here now to recommend the approval of the appointment of Julio Delgado, Kaylin Birch, and Sarah Epley to Police Cadet 2. These will be our first three slots in our Class 7 Academy that starts in April. The first one, Julio Delgado, they are all here, so when I call your name, if you don't mind to stand up. Julio Delgado holds an associate's degree in criminal justice from Purdue Global University. His most recent employer was the United States military. He served as a military police and was stationed at Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Kaylin Birch graduated from South Warren High School. He is currently a Cadet 1 at the Bowling Green Police Department and a salesperson for Riverside Outdoors. Sarah Epley graduated from Warren East High School and Campbellsville University. She holds a bachelor's in arts of science with a minor in political science. Sarah is currently a Cadet 1 at the Bowling Green Police Department. And I think they all have family members with them, too. So if you have any questions, please let me know.
Thank you very much, Lori. Kaylin, start with you, introduce, and then we'll go Julio and Sarah. Hello, welcome. I know you're proud. All right, Julio? Yeah, that's enough right there. Hi, Kristen. All right, Sarah? I know you're proud as well, so we're proud of it. All right, candidates, stand back up. Commissioners, you want to grill them any?
Just welcome for you guys being here. What year did you graduate from South Warren? Okay, my daughter graduated in 2018, so that's the reason why I had to ask and stuff. But benvenido to each one of you. You know, we haven't took the vote, but I'm pretty sure you'll get it. So, welcome to Bowling Green.
And Lori, did you say they're accepted already for Class 7?
Nice.
So we really appreciate your continued service and wanting to become a police officer. We think you're in the best police, department in this entire state of Kentucky, if not beyond. So we thank you for your continued service and leadership and dedication for this. And families, we know this concerns you, but we will do our best to take care of them. Thank you. All right, commissioners. We ready for a roll call?
Sure.
Let's make this official. Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes, congratulations. All right, there's a few celebrations in Bowling Green tonight, but that's a good place to be, so it's a Happy New Year. All right, we're continuing celebration. Municipal Order Number 2024-6.
Municipal order approving the probationary appointment of Carolyn Bradshaw to the position of Communications Dispatcher 1 in the Police Department.
So moved.
Unanimously, everybody, first and second, but I'll give that to Dana Beasley Brown and to Commissioner Hill. Mr. Meisel.
Ask Lori to come back up. This is the HR night, so Lori's got a recommendation for dispatcher. Lori?
Yes, I'm here to recommend Carrie, I think she goes by, Bradshaw to be appointed to the position of Communications Dispatcher 1 in the Telecommunications Division of the Police Department. Carrie is being recommended for the appointment. She graduated from Greenwood High School, and she currently works as a private babysitter. She is here this evening if you want to stand up, and she has someone with her if you want to introduce.
Oh, welcome. So I think as a private babysitter, you know how to multitask. Well, one of the toughest jobs in Bowling Green. We're grateful that you have applied and that you're pretty much going to be hired tonight, but we're grateful for the work as we are recruiting. And if you have friends out there, please bring them. We would love to have them. So, all right, commissioners, you ready? Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown? Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes, congratulations, Carrie. Municipal Order Number 2024-7.
Municipal order approving the probationary appointment of Melissa Bailey to the position of Police Officer in the Police Department.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Hill. Mr. Meisel.
I would personally like to welcome back a familiar face, Miss Bailey. Has worked with us before, and I'm glad she finally came back to her senses and is coming back. So I'd like to ask Lori to come up and make the recommendation. Lori?
I'm here to recommend Melissa Bailey be appointed to the position of Police Officer in the Patrol Division of the Police Department. As the city manager said, Miss Bailey worked for the city of Bowling Green as a police officer from May of 2006 till November of 2016. She is currently a police officer at WKU. We are very excited to add her back to our team, and she is here this evening with family. So if you want to stand up and introduce everyone.
Please.
A lot.
No, they get real recognition tonight.
My parents, Joe and Pam, one of my first FTOs from way back in 2006, Sergeant Danica Kay, one of my best friends, Nissy, my niece, Brooklyn, my daughter, Charlie, my best friend, Amy, another best friend, Sheena, my daughter, Trinity, and my two best friends in the back, too, that have mentored me tremendously along the way, Dr. Martha Sells and Sean Sells.
I thought I saw the sales back there. Doctors, welcome again.
Ms. Bailey, you forgot one last person, your cousin, right here.
I mean, cousin, Major
Oh, I'm
Bernie.
talking about myself.
Cousin Carlos Bailey.
Well, we are thrilled that you're coming back to the Bowling Green Police, and we're thrilled that your family's here to celebrate that with you. Commissioners?
Say, Mayor, that it's good to see a former classmate tonight, the mother. So, great to see you, Pam.
All right. Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes, congratulations, Officer Bailey.
The Desmond Bell from Southern Queen by Bellevue is running a few minutes late. He asked if maybe we could move forward. I think he would like to be here when we do that. He is close to Western driving, so he should be here soon.
Mr. Jackson, can we just move on with that? Thank you very much. All right. Next is Municipal Order Number 2024-9.
Municipal order authorizing a change order to the contract with various vendors for fire department equipment in the amount of $90,000 for a total project cost of $290,000.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Bailey. Mr. Meisel.
So previously, we went and approved a contract with multiple vendors to supply the fire department with the equipment and supplies that they need. Soon after that, we were awarded a grant in the amount roughly $100,000 that we were able to use toward equipment. And so we would like to use, we spent budget, then we spent the grant, and now we've got still budget left, and we still would need to like to buy some more equipment from this company or these companies. And so we'd like to request the increase by $90,000. Everything is already funded in the budget for the equipment, and just need your approval to dispense the $90,000.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mizel.
Oh, and Deputy Chief Doug Morris is here, can answer any questions you might have on this item.
Chief, can you just give us an indication of what we're looking at in this equipment?
You said it perfectly, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, we're not asking for more money. We just want to continue using this contract to expend budgeted money.
Thank you, Chief. All right, commissioners, discussion? No more discussion. Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes.
And we'll go back.
Okay, I think our parties are here with Southern Queen Bell and View and LLC. Is that correct? All right, great. Municipal order number 2024-8.
Municipal order authorizing and accepting a proposal from Southern Queen by Bellevue LLC of Bowling Green, Kentucky, related to a request for proposals for Shake Rag Preservation Project, RFP number 2024-09, and further approving an agreement for conveyance of city properties located at 140 State Street, 136 State Street, and 533 East 2nd Avenue to Southern Queen by Bellevue LLC.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Beasley Brown, second by Commissioner Bailey. Mr. Mizel.
I'd like to first thank Brent Childers for working on this project before he comes up. This has been a lengthy process, but it's been a really good process, and I appreciate all the work that Brent's done on it. I'm going to turn this over to him to explain what we've done down in that area. Brent.
Thank you. Welcome. Good to be here tonight on the first meeting of the new year, kicking things off. But the story for tonight and this item actually goes back years ago. So in 2021, we selected 1021, Census Block Group 1021, as our neighborhood improvement area. And so that would include Lower Shake Rag all the way up to 8th Street. One of the things we heard whenever we went out and did the public input and the public education was we want to see things preserved. We don't want to see everything torn down. That was one of the themes that we kept hearing. So from there, we kind of took that as part of our neighborhood improvements program and started to negotiate with a family that owned several properties in that area. The Moses family still owned the property that their mother had ran as a hotel, the Southern Queen. They're on the corner of State and 2nd Street at 140 State. They still own 2 other adjoining properties. And that process, while very lengthy, was finally culminated with y'all's approval to purchase 140 State Street, 136 State Street, and 533 East 2nd Street from the family. And you all asked me, a lot of people asked me, so what's the plan? I said, I don't know, but I'll tell you the steps we're going to take. And we executed those steps, and now we have the plan. So now I can formally answer that. So what we did was we had to stabilize them. These properties were in severe disrepair, or still in severe disrepair because of lack of maintenance. So we partnered with Scott and Ritter to come in and do the stabilization, do some temporary work to hold these properties together. We also had to clean out. We had to, these things were full of items, so we hauled off about 4 dumpster loads, big dumpster loads full of stuff and debris. And so I want to thank Brad Shargorodsky of our code compliance team. He oversaw the stabilization and clean out of those properties. But then also we knew the story, we knew the history, we knew the meaning, we knew the significance of specifically the Southern Queen. So we also had a person, Talia Butler, our downtown development coordinator, that came in, kind of local historian person to help curate some of the items. And things were found in all different sorts of places. And so help pull some of those little mementos, those little things, those things to help tell a story, to help keep that going. So from then, we kind of had a open, clean property. We've kept them cleaned and secured. And so we wanted to talk to the neighbors. We want to talk to the public. So we had another focus group get together with people who remember these, who lived in the neighborhood, who remember the Southern Queen operating. We talked to them about what that looked like back then. What do you want to see it look like in the future? What do you not want to see it look like in the future? It's the big question I needed answered that night at NCS. So we took that, we wrote an RFP. We wrote that RFP with pretty much open arms of what could be the intended use of these properties. We even said that you could ask for money from the city through our CDBG program to help offset the redevelopment costs, because we knew that these were done. So we got 2 proposals in to that RFP, one from Bellevue Properties and one from Rob Jones Designs. And I want to stand before you tonight and thank both firms for their time of submitting this. They're honoring the legacy of the Southern Queen, honoring the legacy of Shake Rag, and also helping to tell that story. Only one could win. We selected Bellevue Properties. We also had 2 citizen members sitting on our committee team. So I tell all this to say this isn't just the city buying a piece of property. This isn't just the city doing an RFP. You've heard me stand here before that and do that numerous times. This one is different. We treated it differently. We went through a different process to get here tonight. So now I'm able to tell you what the future looks like. And so the future looks like a Southern Queen restored and updated and modernized. So you'll see in your packets, you'll see some renderings from the architecture firm that has partnered with Bellevue Properties to kind of give a look of what they foresee this to be. The committee viewed that very favorably because it still looks like what we think the Southern Queen to be, but modernized, improved. The other 2 properties, 136 and 533, would be renovated to be single-family rentals. The Southern Queen would remain as a boarding house style, Airbnb style hotel. I don't want to say hotel, overnight accommodation inn. So there would be 5 suites in there. The other part, and both proposals had that similar use of the property, and both proposals also had the main, if you go in the front door to the right, there's kind of that main living room, formal room, would be preserved to tell the story. And so that's where I don't want to call it a museum, but at least a place for that story. So some of that memorabilia, some other things that are in the community could be showcased to tell that story. The proposal also shows a business center meeting room in the back that could be used by the community, and a courtyard out back. And so this would be an available new accommodation in downtown Bowling Green near our riverfront, which is a growing dynamic portion of our downtown that continues to see investment. And there will be new investment announced tomorrow as part of your strategic goal planning meeting. But this is also a legacy project for the story to live on, and I am proud to have worked on this for the last several years. And I recommend the award to Bellevue Properties. The agreement calls for a 20-year deed restriction to ensure that the property is protected. It is used as intended. This has been one of our biggest things, is making sure that we were very honest with Bellevue Properties and as part of the meetings. We wanted to, this is what we want, this is what you say you're going to do, this is what we want you to do. Now go do it, and we want to protect it to make sure. We spent a lot of time, a lot of energy as a city government, not just myself. There was a whole team that was part of this, and I don't want that to be overshadowed of how many people worked on this, because once we told people the story, even the contractors there framing up pieces of the floor to hold it together, they knew they were part of something special. And so I don't want that to go unnoticed. But I'm here to entertain any questions, any concerns, anything you want to hear from me. If not, I will sit down and stand out of the way.
Brent, I don't have any questions, but I want to tell you that I appreciate you guys. I appreciate Brad. I was actually there one day and we walked through. So I got to see all the trash and everything else, and just preserving that and having a transfer. It's basically a passing of a torch. It's weird because my grandmother and them lived down the street. There's a tree that's still up there in the Shake Rag area that's right across from Grays and Gilbert.
Okay.
So I'm sure if I was able to, they died when I was young, but I'm sure at some point, they passed there, probably talked to Mrs. Moses. And from my understanding, when I was young, I don't remember Mrs. Moses, but she went to State Street Baptist Church, which I also went to State Street Baptist Church, still do. And I hear those stories, that is very important to the community. And I know it's not like what it looked like when I was born or when my mother was born, but preserving that is so huge. And having it to transition to someone that is deeply rooted into the community is important. So I appreciate you, I appreciate Brad, because I saw all that, the things that were collected and some of the glass and some things that were unsafe. And I even found a book that me and Talia was actually looking at, and it had the history of Bowling Green that was in there. I don't know if you got to see it, but it was interesting. I took a picture of every single page just to read. And it was interesting just reading it off your phone with the pages. But having that and being able to transition to another family and to make sure that history stays alive and also be a beacon of modernization, and I think it's going to be something special. So I appreciate you guys doing that. I appreciate Bellevue Industries basically taking over it, because I know it's going to be important for the community, and it's going to be important for Shaker Act community as well. So thank you.
Thank you for that.
I want to just echo those words of thanks. We got so many people reaching out to us when the city bought those properties, worried about, what does this mean? Because that community has lost a lot of the historical properties through development that's happened. And I'm just so grateful, I know we all are, that you did treat this very differently and really took the time to listen to the community and made sure that we were protecting that incredible, rich tradition that we had in Shake Rag. And I'm grateful for Desmond, you coming in and bringing this incredible vision for what you're going to do to make sure that we're keeping these stories alive and bring in that entrepreneurship that we're so grateful for. Desmond also, I don't know if you all remember where we had the historic African-American neighborhood around 11th Street and Kenton Street. And he came in and saved that property, those properties there, and made it a place where more families can make incredible memories and thrive in that space. So I'm grateful that you're the one who got this piece, because I know you have a legacy here already of preserving our history and then helping us move it to the next level for our community. So I'm just really excited to see what happens next. And the one thing is, if someone could share the history of the Southern Queen, because there may be some folks listening or in the audience who don't know the history. So if we could just briefly explain why the Southern Queen, the cool part about what that served for that community for so many years.
I'll tell you some of the pieces that I heard in my communication with the neighbors, if that's okay. If you'd prefer somebody else, I am fine to sit down too. But the real piece of that history is it was the segregated place to stay. During segregation, when African-American travelers could not stay in hotels, the Southern Queen was their place of respite. And so whenever we talked to the neighbors and people who had grown up in the neighborhood, we heard about how just life was so different, right? I mean, it doesn't seem that long ago. You still talk to people who lived it, but it's so different from our modern world. It was a destination in the Green Book. So, it was in there as a safe haven place for travelers. And that story, and there were several of these across different communities, but this was the one in our community. And I think that's what's important. The other thing that I heard that holds a special place is the historical part, but I think it's also a role that Miss Moses played whenever I listened to people talk about what she meant to the people who grew up in the neighborhood, and the role that she played as mentor, as a person you could talk to, a neighbor, that you could just hear this fondness for her as a place to go and have somebody to talk to that maybe wasn't your mom or your dad or somebody else you need to talk to. She worked there at the school, and so just that history of the community. But that piece is what really came out of listening to people who would have seen it during that era. There's no way I can go back and recreate what that's like. No way. I'm just only retelling the things that I've been told. This is all not from my personal experience. But I want to say that piece really rang through in those conversations.
Can I add to that?
Go ahead.
So back in the day, the old building that used to be Capital Aluminum actually used to be a gym. So the State Street School was there before we actually had High Street, and High Street is no longer here, and it's actually where MedEquip building is today, so where the footprint is. So when the students used to get out of school, Mrs. Moses, and they'll be facing, it's a room, and it'll be facing like the gym. She would have ice cream for these students so they can get. It was somewhere that they not only had ice cream for the local students that were here during that period of time at the old State Street School before we had High Street, but it's something that back years ago, and Desmond, Mr. Bill actually brings big acts here today, which is interesting that you're inheriting this. It's a passing of torch to you. So back then, because of a lot of African Americans and acts could not go to different hotels, they would stay there. So the old Motown acts that used to come here, like Smokey Robinson, Tina Turner, some other acts that I may not even be mentioning, they would actually stay at the Southern Queen. So it's so much bigger to keeping that history alive, and I really appreciate that.
I will tell you, we never found the picture of Tina Turner sitting on the couch. We never found the picture of, those things. And we kept hoping we would open some folder and there it would be, the provenance of all these great, historical entertainers that had stayed there. We found writings, we found talks, we found things like that, but we kept hoping we'd find the picture of them hanging out on the front porch and it's all right there, but we never found that. So maybe the family has it, I hope. I hope if it did exist, somebody has it. So
Maybe the Moses family has it, and they'll come
Maybe.
up with it when this family takes that
Maybe.
project on. And I want to say thank you. I also toured the Southern Queen with Brent and another interested party that ran, basically ran.
It's tough.
It was tough to see.
It's still going to be tough. It's still going to be a tough
There's
project.
no doubt. But the renderings that are here is phenomenal. Mr. Huff is redoing that Mary Gymnasium, making a speakeasy from back in the day, and just bringing that whole area of our history to life again is just, and the city's working on downtown redevelopment, riverfront redevelopment. This is just a huge place in time that we are for bringing back our downtown and making it vibrant. And thank you to the Huff family for taking this project on, and the other houses. Those are cool, seriously cool. Those are going to make great places for people. So thank you all, and do you all mind if we're voyeurs and we come by and see how you're doing along the way? Thank you.
Yes.
Brent, I know you're going to hear repeat, but your vision, bringing the city commission along with you in this journey, you basically planned it out. You didn't have the plan, but you had the vision, and that's great leadership. Recognizing that our community has lost, Jonesville, but we have the Jonesville Academy, and that's going strong, and it's a partnership with Western Kentucky. And then, to see something of such historic value to our community, like the Southern Queen Hotel, and what it did represent, and that it did give refuge and gave, a place to stay. And, anyone that journeys knows that that's probably one of the toughest things, just having a place to lay your head at night. And so that offers and will continue to offer with our community. And it's, the city doesn't often buy property. We're not in the property business, but we are the business of taking care and doing what's best for our community. And so thank you for that leadership. Desmond, I know this is a family enterprise. We appreciate you and your family for your entrepreneurship that you have shown already and you're going to continue to show on this project. But would you like to introduce your family? Because you're part of history tonight.
Right here?
Yes, sir.
What I always do is order by age. My oldest son, Cameron, Chase, Chandler, and my wife, Robin.
Well, we appreciate your vision, the work that it's going to take. It's not, these are depleted properties. They're standing, but your love and the work that you're going to put in this, we greatly appreciate that. So thank you.
Congrats, Des.
It's a great-looking family, guys, and I guarantee you that this legacy and what you're doing is going to resonate so deep with these three young men from now until ever, and that's going to be some pride right there. Thank you all.
Right, without,
Ladies that are today with George Washington Carver Center who helped.
oh, I see. Hi,
Yeah,
ladies.
Ms. Turner, Ms. Fishback, who helped teach me some of these things. You know, you hear some things, but they taught me what it was like to really be part of that, so I could have as good of an understanding as I was possible to have, right? So I want to thank them for their leadership, their wisdom, as this was truly a community project. This is not just about us, this is about the community. So, thank you all.
And absolutely.
Respect. Did I get anything wrong? Did I get anything? I know, it's a lot.
And if you haven't been to the George Washington Carver Center, it's amazing. The history, because it's local. It's us. It's who we are, who we were, and it's Bowling Green. So it's beautiful. All right, well, let's make this official. Commissioners, roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes, congratulations on this. Municipal Order Number 2024-10.
Municipal order authorizing and accepting a proposal from Scott Murphy and Daniel LLC of Bowling Green, Kentucky related to a request for proposals for Fire Station Number 3 kitchen renovations, RFP number 2024-27, in an amount not to exceed $86,555.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Beasley Brown, second by Commissioner Hill. Mr. Mizel.
This was a, excuse me, CIP in the FY24 budget that you all approved, thankfully. And this is station number 3 on just off Nashville Road by WKU Farm. This station was built in around 2000, I think, and is in need of some attention in the kitchen. And so we went out for proposals, for bids. This was an evaluated bid, received 2 responses, Scott Murphy and Daniel and CNC Contracting, and we are recommending Scott Murphy and Daniel to go in and do some work on the cabinets, the countertops, an island, and we're going to replace some appliances and lots of stuff in that kitchen to bring it up to speed with other stations. So Chief Brooks is here, Deputy Chief Morris is here, can answer any of your questions on this one. But it's well under budget, looks like $130,000 budget, and $86,555 was the bid.
Thank you, Mr. Mizel. If anyone's been to a fire department with live-in firefighters, the kitchen is the center, it's the hub. They eat lunch, they eat dinner. Each firefighter is responsible for putting on those meals, and they rotate that on a basis, and it's really a center of a family. So a really good investment here.
I just have one question. Do you all know at Fire Station 3, is there one of the firefighters who's known as the cook or the chef of the group that's going to be most excited about this?
I'm sure there is. I can't think of there's special people that do cooking every day.
Yes, well, I'm excited for them. I know having a kitchen you can work in is important, so I'm excited.
I was actually going to ask, do you guys, I've seen something, I don't know if it's a show or something that one of you guys are putting on, like cooking all the time. It's Brooks. I got it.
All right, roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes. Municipal Order Number 2024-12.
11.
Sorry, 11.
Municipal order authorizing change order number 2 to the contract with Bushels and Blooms LLC of Franklin, Kentucky for storm damage cleanup related to bid number 2023-06 in the amount of $89,590.50 for a total project cost of $694,590.50.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Bailey. Mr. Mizel.
So as we are just past 2-year mark on our 2021 tornado disasters, this pertains to the private property pickup that we took on, and I'd like to ask Matt Powell to come up and kind of give you a summary of how that went and kind of give you an overview of this item here. Matt?
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Childers. So over the course of our cleanup response, you guys saw most of that. We spent a long time getting our expenses recouped from FEMA. During that same period of time, the Kentucky legislature reached out with the state aid for federal emergencies, the SAFE program, and some additional funds were able to be accessed by the city of Bowling Green for various purposes. One of the grants that we pulled down was a private property debris removal grant. Initially, it was $200,000. That funding allowed the city of Bowling Green to secure a contractor and engage with homeowners and property owners directly to remove remaining storm debris from their properties that they were not covered by insurance or otherwise unable to remove. It was incredibly successful. We went back and added an additional $400,000. During that process, as things began to wane, I did some forecasting, some work with our operations team, and we felt like that within the budget we had left, we could both complete the outstanding work that we had, as well as purchase some equipment that was going to enable our operations department to continue on this work into the future. That equipment was purchased. It's been fantastic. It is accomplishing exactly the mission that it was purchased for. Ultimately, we're here tonight because I failed miserably to forecast the outstanding work. There were a couple of small problems with a couple of jobs with property access. Wound up working with some additional property owners to secure access, but in one particular case, I underestimated the cost that we were going to incur by a factor of 6. I did 151 jobs. Most of them I was pretty spot on, but in essence, I missed. And so we are here to secure the additional funds to pay our contractor for completing that work. But ultimately, this program did secure equipment for our operations department that's going to allow them to continue to work on this kind of thing for a long term. And we served 151 of our residents in removing some pretty serious debris. And I can answer any questions at all that you have. I have the whole spreadsheet.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate your candor. Most importantly, this is work done to help out property owners that were suffering from the storm. We think property owners, we don't always understand their age or their abilities or their financial, fiscal abilities as well. But you had your heart in the right place, I believe, in this. Appreciate your candor again to express. And I remember when we approved the piece of equipment because we saw the value in that, and that's a dividend that's going to continue paying on. So thank you.
I'd like to thank you too. 18 years, I think, with the city of Bowling Green. Some of the most directly rewarding work I've ever been allowed to do. Thank you for the opportunity.
Commissioners?
Citizens certainly appreciated you. I know I had several that called me with a need and get right on the horn to Matt, and he's over there, and they're pulling trees out of their yards, and it was incredible, Matt. Great work. Thank you so much.
There were some monster stumps, too,
Yeah.
that were specialized equipment.
Huge.
Yeah, and not every homeowner was prepared to be able to handle that through insurance or whatever. It just wasn't going to happen. And so I feel so good about our response and the programs that we put together to impact the citizens that were hurt. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And I want to echo that as well. So out of the 151 homes, we're completely done at this time, or we're still?
Done.
Oh, nice.
And also, absolutely, Bushels and Blooms deserves a shout. I don't think that I've ever had a single contractor who worked across multiple properties who was able to bring home a contract with almost 0 complaints. About 6 months in, they accidentally ran over a cantaloupe plant that was in the edge of a grown-up yard, and that property owner called me to gripe about the cantaloupe plant. That's the only complaint we got. Every other homeowner called me to tell me what a great job they did.
Congrats.
All right, Matt, I think we're ready to approve this. Thank you, Commissioners. Roll call, please.
Haley?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes. Municipal Order Number 2024-12.
Municipal order authorizing and accepting bid number 2024-30 for transit bus wraps from Gerald Printing of Bowling Green, Kentucky, based on unit prices.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Beasley Brown, second by Commissioner Hill. Mr. Mizel.
So we are in the process of giving our transit a new look, and in your packets is a picture of one of the buses we have put the wrap on. As we say, city and county city's been working with the Bowling Green Warren County MPO, Metropolitan Planning Organization, to work on a marketing campaign to educate the community about public transit. So I'd like to thank Nick and Brent for working on this, along with Tim McWhorter, our new transit manager with RTP Dev. And these range various pricing according to bus size. It's in your memo here, but we would like to pursue this and use some transit money, I believe, and we would like to award this contract to Gerald Printing. That's the only response we got that could do this sort of work, but it's rebranding the GOBG Transit with what you see in the picture with the new green look, and it's got the water tower and some landscape kind of look in the background of it. Looks really, really neat. So ask for your approval to move forward with Gerald Printing on these wraps for the transit buses.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mizel. Discussion?
Nick is here. He's also our transit manager on our side, can answer any questions on the project.
Childers, I'm glad it's not, just the color that we had. It was just one plain color and it has something in there. And I asked you this the last time.
Okay.
Why don't we use some of this space for advertisement?
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've seen the advertisement, but every time I see a bus, it's not like what I was envisioning as the advertisement. And I wonder how much would people advertise if we put that in there?
So advertising is a source of revenue that goes back in as match to the program. We've used it. The thing with advertising is you got to have somebody out there selling it.
Okay.
That's the real challenge with it, right? And so years ago, they had an employee that was very active in that, and they'd sold a lot. In the last several years, transit has not been as active in it. But really our focus with this program is to make people aware that public transit is for everyone in Bowling Green, that it is an available service. You all put money into it. The Federal Transit Administration puts money into it. But there wasn't anything to really show you, oh, that's available for me. And we talk to people and they go, well, we don't have anything, because they just saw another white bus drive down the road. Looked like a church bus, or looked like a van, looked like something else, right? Looked like Dave and Buster's bus, or whoever it is that drives around town, right? And so we wanted to have something, we wanted to tell that story. So we partnered with MPO, we partnered with VidMonster to come up with this Green Means Go, new brand, new color scheme, new everything, social media, commercials, radio commercials, TV commercials, to really educate the public. So there's educational videos, there's testimonial videos, but it was also centered around people need to be able to identify that. So we did the first one as part of that project. Now we want to do the rest of them. That's what these are. We're also changing all of our bus stop signs. So you'll start seeing the bus stop signs themselves receive a new brand. We're trying to create a new image for public transit in this community and make sure people know you can ride this bus to work. You can ride this bus to the doctor. You can ride this bus to the grocery. Every route we have goes to a grocery store. So you don't have to change buses 4 times to get to the grocery. You can get on that route, get on that bus, and go to the grocery store, and it'll come back to where it's at. Every single one of our routes touches a grocery store. So you have these opportunities in our community for $2. But people didn't know. So we got to tell the story. If we want people to ride, the COVID killed transit ridership across the country, across the industry. Tim could tell you that with his peers across other places. It just plummeted 50% immediately. And it only barely grew after that. And so we weren't where we wanted to be in 2020, right? Now we need to get back to where we were and beyond. And we felt like this was an important step. And so we're appreciative of the partnership with MPO utilizing some of their funding that they receive from the state to cover the cost for VidMonster, and we're using some of our own funding to cover this cost as part of this wrapping. So I appreciate y'all's support on this.
And I appreciate that. And the only reason why I asked that is because how you just basically said that some of the, I guess, the bus riders went down. I'm looking at advertisement almost as it offsets certain costs. It's not going to offset everything, but it offsets certain costs, because having a bus to ride around town, if I own a business, that's one of the biggest advertisements I can have when it's bypassing a lot of people who are traveling these streets.
So these new designs still allow for the ability for us to put advertisements over top of the wrap. So this isn't in place of the wrap. We can integrate the advertisements as part of the wrap if we sell those advertisements and have those commitments from businesses that are willing to do that. So any businesses that are out there that are interested in advertising on transit can call 393-3695. Is that number right, Tim? Yes, sir. All right, good job. I got it right off the top of my head. And you can ask to talk to Tim, and we'll work out an advertising deal with you to make that a reality. So we are open to it. It's just right now, this is our push as for this marketing piece.
I got it. I'm not trying to be hard on you. I'm just
I got it.
trying to find a way where we can offset some of these costs, but also put funding into it for the future.
Yep. And we have a couple of those different streams that we do that with. Yeah, go ahead.
Brent, can you introduce Tim?
Yeah, sure.
I don't think we've ever introduced Tim to you. So.
We have Tim McWhorter is our general manager. He's an employee with RATP Dev, and so he's the general manager for GoBG Transit and Topper Transit. If you'll remember, starting July, we were kind of co-purchased these services. So he is the general manager over both systems, and so he works some out of the transit center and then some out of WKU. So I'll let Tim come up and say hello.
Hello, everyone. As Britt said, my name is Tim McWhorter. I'm the general manager for GoBG Transit and WKU Topper Transit. Been in the Bowling Green community for about 15 years now. My 15-year anniversary is coming up, so if my wife's watching at home, I want to get that right and score some brownie points. But been with WKU for 10 years. Been with RATP Dev for 6 as far as the general manager at WKU Topper Transit. I started as a transit supervisor with WKU and then moved to RATP Dev in the general manager role. And then once the contract came up for both systems to be operating contracts, became the general manager of both. So I'm glad to be here. Thank you all very much for the time.
Quick question.
Yes, sir.
Ask it. They want to advertise, I apologize. If they want to advertise, how much would it cost for them to advertise and for how long?
It ranges on the side, how much space they take up on the bus and how much time they want to. But if any businesses are interested, they can just give us a call and we can quote that out for them.
I got it. And the number again?
270-393-3695.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes. Municipal order number 2024-13.
Municipal order accepting and adopting the Bowling Green Fire Department Policy and Procedures Manual dated January 2024.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Bailey. Mr. Mizel.
It's always just good policy, good practice to keep your policy and procedures manual up to date. I'm going to ask Chief Brooks to come up. He's going to go through page by page the 371-page document.
It's not necessary,
I'm going to
Chief.
go to dinner, and I'll be back in a little bit. So, Chief, you want to come up and summarize this for us, please?
We had the pre-read.
There is a nice 9-page summary in your packets.
No surprises here. Just cleaning stuff up, trying to be more efficient. Everything's in the summary. If you got any questions about any of those changes, this just makes us more efficient. And it actually reduces the pages of documents in the policy by, I think, 5. We're over policyed. Agree?
This incorporates your Battalion 2 positions.
Yeah,
as
that,
well?
that's the org chart. I thought that was pretty cool. We're going to 2 battalions now, right?
Yes, sir. And I think that there's actually might be a mistake on the org chart. I think Katie pointed out the other day, and I think I need to fix that before we actually publish it. So that's my fault.
Gotta wait
Any
till next year.
Good.
All right, commissioners. Okay, roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2024-14.
Municipal order approving the Disadvantaged Business Enterprises Plan for the City of Bowling Green Transit Program and authorizing its submission to the Federal Transportation Administration.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Beasley Brown. Mr. Mizel.
This disadvantaged business enterprise plan is required for organizations receiving assistance from the FTA, and we have to get this updated every 3 years. Before you is that plan, and we contract, as Brent mentioned, with RATP Dev USA to help us with this update. And so before you tonight is the new and improved DBE plan. And of course, Tim and Nick are here and can answer any questions you might have on this. But it's a requirement by FTA that we make sure we do this every 3 years.
Thank you, Mr. Mizel. Commissioners, questions? None. Roll call, please.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2024-15.
Municipal order authorizing the submission of an application for Kentucky Community Development Block Grant Disaster Recovery Single-Family Housing Funding to the Kentucky Department for Local Government in an amount up to $2,591,634.
So moved.
Second.
That's another unanimous, but I heard Carlos first is moved and Dana Beasley Brown is second.
We would like to apply for this Kentucky Community Development Block Grant disaster recovery grant in the amount of 2.591, and no match is required on this. If we were to get this, we think we could construct 15 new affordable housing units. We would work with Habitat for Humanity as well as Live the Dream. Habitat for Humanity still has some property out in the Durbin Estates neighborhood, and Live the Dream still has some property on Old Barren River Road that we could use, and we're hoping to get this. If you have any questions, I've got Nick and Brent here, but this would be a really good grant if we could nail it and with no match.
I do have a question, Brent. Nick, maybe if you can answer. I know the governor did all the fundraising. Is this part of that? No?
No, this is not. That would be the Team Western Kentucky Fund. This is the CDBG-DR. This is the federal government's response to a disaster. It takes about 18 months. And Congress appropriated, I think, a total of $147 million roughly in a couple of tranches to Kentucky for the tornadoes. So this is one
Because everything was handed to the governor through that?
It was handed to the department.
federal.
Yeah, it's administered by the Department for Local Government.
Okay, so it's part of the disaster through the federal government, handed to the governor, and then we're applying and trying to get our piece of that.
That's correct.
Thank you.
80% of that funding has to go into the most impacted counties, Warren being one of those 4. And so we're trying to come up with ways and projects, good projects, to leverage this for the benefit of the community.
Any idea of that 140 million initially allocated, how much is left?
They've probably only allocated maybe 10 million.
Really?
Yeah, we're going to have an award, an acceptance of an award next meeting for next month of about 1.4. This will be 2.4. They've got some other funding out through KHC that hasn't been allocated yet. They've done some allocate. They did it in kind of phases, but maybe only 10 million. So there's going to be, we're still working up project ideas. We're not done yet.
Great. Thank you very much, Brent.
I also just wanted to thank you all for continuing to work on, how are we bringing back some of the affordable housing we lost from the storm. In my role as a family resource coordinator, I'm still working with several families whose lives are still not whole. And a huge part of that is the housing costs, that from the affordable place they lived in before the tornado to a place that now is 3 times what it was at their place they lived before. And then, if they only had liability coverage on their vehicle that was also destroyed. Then they have huge new car payments that also is really making life a lot harder for some of the folks who survived the tornado. And so I'm just so grateful that you all are continuing to do this work to, create more of these opportunities for these families to get back on a path to wholeness after the storm. So thank you guys. And I'm grateful to hear that we still have more potential for additional opportunities to bring more of these opportunities for housing and other support for our community. So thank you all so much.
One more question, and it's just a question on the timeline. So the money we received for COVID, the CARES, it came with an expiration date that had to be allocated by the federal government. Does this have an allocation expiration date?
Yes.
For the governor?
DR, yeah, for the state, has 6-year time limit. I'll tell you, almost no state ever hits that time limit because it takes a year of just planning to get everything going. Like, we're just now submitting a couple of applications. The tornadoes were over 2 years ago. Their clock started a year ago. So no state ever hits the 6-year. You can go to some, because in some of these, especially the coastal areas, Florida, Louisiana, where they have huge disasters with the hurricanes, they're billion-dollar funds. Those things will run 8-10 years. But they have a 6-year time limit, but I don't expect them to meet that because almost no other state has ever met it. So,
copy. Thank you very much. Okay, any further discussion? None. Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes. Ordinance number BG 2024-1, first reading, non-binding.
Ordinance rezoning real estate. Ordinance rezoning tracts of land containing 1.267 acres from AG Agriculture and HB Highway Business to HB Highway Business located at 1110 and a portion of 1100 Three Springs Road, presently owned by Fleeland, Inc.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Hill. Mr. Meisel.
Planning and Zoning Board met on December 21st, and there were 6 of the 8 members present for this case. This was a 6-0 vote in favor of rezoning 1.267 acres on Three Springs Road from ag highway business to just highway business, and I believe this is going to be result in a miniature golf course. So this is going to be pretty cool. Ben is here to answer any questions you might have on this one.
Great. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Meisel. Commissioners, questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes. Ordinance number BG 2024-2, first reading, non-binding.
Ordinance rezoning real estate. Ordinance rezoning a tract of land containing 1.58 acres from PUD, Planned Unit Development, to HB Highway Business located on the property abutting the south end of Midsummer Street, presently owned by Green Hills Development Partners, LLC.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Bailey. Mr. Meisel.
Another item that was taken up at the December 21st Planning and Zoning meeting, it's out just off Lover's Lane in the Green Hills development. There were 6 of the 8 members present for this case, and we had a 6-0 vote in favor of rezoning the 1.58 acres from at the end of Midsummer Street from PUD to highway business, and Ben is here to answer any questions you might have on this project.
Great. Thank
Or
you,
this
Mr.
rezoning.
Meisel. Thank you for being here, Mr. Peterson. Commissioners, no questions. Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes. Municipal order number 2024-16.
Municipal order authorizing an amendment to the City of Bowling Green, Kentucky Capital Improvement Program for fiscal years 2023, 2024 through 2026, 2027.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Hill. Mr. Meisel.
This is just our usual amendment that we make to our CIP plan from time to time, sort of like budget. Katie has brought this to you tonight. The highlights are in the memo. What's in this? We've updated it for the added firewall improvements. Multiple projects in here: the North Side Fire Station change order, the sidewalk reconstruction program, stormwater mitigation. Just a mixed bag of a lot of things that we needed to clean up and get up to date in our CIP plan. Katie's here, can answer any questions you might have but the memo pretty much explains it all.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mizel. Questions? None, roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Ordinance number BG 2023-35, second reading binding.
Ordinance rezoning real estate. Ordinance rezoning a tract of land containing 1.30 acres from GB General Business to HB Highway Business located at 1806 US 31W Bypass, presently owned by Goodwill Industries of Kentucky, Inc.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Beasley Brown. This was a 5-0 from our city commission meeting in December. Any further discussion? None, roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Ordinance number BG 2023-36, second reading binding.
Ordinance rezoning real estate. Ordinance rezoning a tract of land containing 3.5341 acres from HB Highway Business to RM4 Multifamily Residential located on Mount Victor Lane and Old Lovers Lane, presently owned by TCP Properties LLC.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Beasley Brown. This was also a 5-0 vote from our commission, December meeting. Any further discussion? No discussion. Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. As we're checking to see if there's anyone that would like to address the city commission, just an announcement that we will be in our strategic meeting with all 5 commissioners tomorrow at the Sloan Convention Center from 8 o'clock to 4:30 tomorrow. And we look forward to continuing city business. And our next meeting will be February 6, 2024 at 4:30. We have no one wanting to speak tonight. Thank you, everybody, and Happy New Year. We're adjourned.
I want to say thank you for Holly Warren from the Contractors Licensing Board for being present